YouTube open?
No, should I do that?
No, I'm worried about the sound maybe coming in. Let me just check on my own link. Okay, yeah, we are definitely live now.
Cool.
So I'm just going to take a quick photo of this so I can post it. Can you still hear me, Max?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, cool. So time to post about it.
Yeah, the stream's live. I can see it.
Welcome, everyone. If you are in the chat, drop a comment to let us know you're here. I'm just promoting the stream by posting a story right now, but thanks everyone for joining. So stream. Cool. All right. Well, thanks everyone for joining. Welcome to the second live stream, Howdy Bonnietastic. So you've got Thomas or your Pokemonster here, and we've got Bonnietastic as well. Firstly, I just want to say, Leo, thanks a lot for the congratulations on 5K subs. We'll keep going, but it's a cool milestone to hit. And yeah, I've got Bonnietastic joining me again for the second edition. So for anyone who doesn't know who you are, do you want to briefly introduce yourself?
Yeah, so I have been collecting Pokemon probably the last 7-8 years, quite hardcore. Tried to build a display behind me, mainly Japanese. I also have a channel, but I haven't been uploading the last couple months because I'm moving into this new unit. But yeah, I can't wait to get back into YouTube again. I'm seeing Thomas hit 5K subs and I've fallen behind. So yeah, I need to get back on the grind.
When's that happening, bro?
I
You've been
mean,
building this for a long
I
time.
know. Still got so much rubbish in here. I got a telephone box if anyone's interested. A real life, real scale telephone box. Yeah, hit me
If
up.
you want to give away some of that trash taggable in the back, I will gladly take it.
Yeah, good deal.
Cool. Okay, so this is just a general market chat. We're just going to talk about loads of different things. We've come up with a few general topics to discuss, but obviously want to make this as interactive as possible with you guys. So this is your chance. If you've got any questions to ask about English, Japanese, Chinese sets, what's good to invest in our view, what's hot, feel free to pop it in the chat. Otherwise, we're just going to talk about the topics that we've prepared. So I guess the first thing to start with is Mega Evolution. So we've got 4 reveals. Yeah, Monkey Max is back. Yes, he was away for 5 years. In that time, he's gone through adolescence. But we've got Mega Evolution coming out. Mega Brave and Mega Symphonia being the Japanese sets coming out on the 1st of August, which is next week Friday. Pretty sure. And then we've got Mega Evolution being the English name of the sets coming out on the 26th of September, I think. So how do you feel about that? How do you feel about the way Scarlet and Violet ended, and what are your expectations for the new Mega Block?
I think it ended really abruptly, to be honest. It ended on black and white, which seems completely irrelevant to Scarlet and Violet for the most part. It seemed a bit of a weird. It feels weird that we're walking into another base set in the middle of summer. That's not happened ever. I can't. Even Heart Gold Soul Silver, I think that was like end of the year. So is this something new? I think Mega Evolution. I'm excited for it. I like Mega Pokemon. I love Gen 6. I think they could have come up with a more creative name for it, personally. But I am looking forward to it. It looks like it could be a quarter of this generation is going to be Mega. In my head, that's how I see it. And the end quarter of a generation is usually really good. So I'm hoping for some really good sets. Then the set names sound great. It sounds like we're going to get a Rayquaza set. So I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah, and out of the set so far, what are your standout cards? Because we've obviously had a few reveals. I'm gonna try and pull them up if I can while you speak.
I really like the SARs. For me, I really like the Gardevoir and the Kangaskhan. Well, I like them all. The Venusaur is incredible as well. I love the whole evolution line for the Venusaur. I'm having a hard time picking which set I prefer at the moment because I think they both have really good cards inside. I'm not sure if you picked one.
So I think the market has picked one. The market. So if anyone doesn't know, obviously the Japanese is split into two sets. So you've got Gardevoir heading up one of the sets in Mega Symphonia, and then oh, I just realized I wasn't sharing my screen, was I? Is this working, the screen share?
I can see it.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
Japanese sets split into two. You've got Mega Brave, which has the Mega Lucario, and you've got Mega Symphonia, which has the Gardevoir. The market is leaning towards the Lucario set. I think the Mega Gardevoir is a really, really cool card. I think conceptually it works really well. I like the stained glass kind of feel, kind of reminds me a little bit of the Three Birds. Slightly on the creepy side, maybe, if you look at the Ralts back there. It looks like it's hibernating, but I do like the overall vibe. But I think I still prefer the all-action pose from the Mega Lucario and the number of Pokemon it involves. So I'm going to see if I can pull it up. But just the battle scene of the Mega Lucario, you know, the red and blue hues work really well because obviously Mega Evolution comes from the XY set. XY base is like a red and blue set. And then
I'm still finding new Pokemon in that artwork. Like I only just realized there was Manectric in there.
There was a Manectric. Was there a Manectric fighting the
there is
Abomasnow?
really,
I think.
yeah.
Yeah. I can't find
It's
it at the
crazy.
moment, but that's a sick artwork. Hi, Suikyun.
Yeah.
That's a sick artwork, and obviously it's got the Venusaur on its side. So I think that's probably what is making people value Mega Brave more than Mega Symphonia. It's just the fact that it's not just Lucario versus Gardevoir. We've got Lucario and Venusaur, and obviously you've got the Bulbasaur and Ivysaur art lines, and it seems to be connecting or continuing that SV theme. So although it's a new block, it's still continuing the same rarities so far from what we're seeing, and it's still continuing some of the same strong points that the Scarlet and Violet era had, which is connecting artwork. You go back to Scarlet base, it has that evolution line of Gardevoir, and you come to this one and it's got the Bulbasaur, Ivysaur, Venusaur connecting. Obviously, you've got the 151. So I think I've yapped for quite a few minutes now, but I think the Lucario side is probably stronger, but I agree I'm very, very excited for it. One question I have for you, though, is how do you feel about the English box art? Because it's just black on the front.
You know how I feel about that.
Right? I don't think I
yeah, it's not good. I don't understand why they've gone with that. Yeah, it's just very plain. I thought they could make it a bit more colourful and exciting, you know. On that point about Gardevoir, though, I've just realised there's been a lot of Gardevoir love in Gen 9. You've had the Shiny Treasure one as well. It's like
Shiny
3
Treasure.
sets where it's been like one of the focuses. It's a lot.
I'm trying to think how many Zard SARs do we have? We've got the Black Flame Obsidian Flames one. We've got the Shiny Treasure one.
And then Inferno X probably be the next one. Was there any?
And obviously the 151. Did I mention 151? So there's 3.
Yeah.
So Gardevoir has been given the same amount of treatment as Charizard, which is interesting. Yeah, but I agree with you. The box art is a bit bland, but I think once you fold it out, it looks really good. Obviously, for sealed collectors, it's probably not ideal, but the color scheme is really cool. We have got a question from Grumpy Young Man here, which I'm going to put on the screen. What are your thoughts on the sizes of the print runs in the SV era compared to the Sword and Shield and SM era? If you think SV print runs have been higher, do you think it'll have any impact on future prices? What do you think? So I'm almost sure, without having the stats to back it up, that SV will have been printed more than Sun and Moon. But Sword and Shield, what do you think? Because the Moon Braille in a 10, I think, is like pop 10, 15,000, 20,000 now.
The print run numbers from 2024 to 2025, April, I'm pretty sure this year were lower than the year before, which is interesting. So I don't know if I can agree with that entirely. It's probably been printed similar amounts of Sword and Shield, but like both generations more than Sun and Moon, I think. But it's the supply is just getting wiped out so quickly because of rip and shipping and stuff like that. I think that's rip and shipping is a lot more popular now than I think it was 5 years ago. So it's easier to see this product just disappear. do you think SV print runs are higher? I think that the SV print runs might get higher next year because I think they print like 10 months in advance, and it's about 8 months since this boom began. So I'm thinking in maybe like September until, I don't know, this time next year, we're going to see a lot of product, especially for like popular sets, Prismatic, Surging Sparks, Destined Rivals, which I'm happy about because I'd like to get a lot more of those sets. At the moment, I'm just kind of scared to buy a lot of it or buy any of it because it feels expensive, and I'm worried they're going to print loads more of it. I think a lot of people are in the same position.
So I think that's a good way to pivot into what I was going to talk about, which is when should people buy these sets? So for context, in the UK market at least, but I think it's pretty much reflected in the US as well. You've got Destined Rivals, which is now rising, even though it's like a 1 to 2 month old set. So Destined Rivals came out the gate around £200 or 260, 270 bucks, and now it's going up to £250. And you see these people selling cases on Instagram, and it's like 1,500, 1,600 pounds a case. I mean, if you compare that to Sword and Shield, what kind of case would I have been able to get for that last year? Would you be able to compare that? I mean, you would have been able to get 1.5 Silver Tempest cases probably in December last year. I don't remember exactly what Silver Tempest was at, but I think it was like 150, 180 a box. So you've got that Destined Rivals going 250. You've got Surging Sparks going to 220. When do people buy? I mean, I'm asking this question myself because we are going to get more of it. But if the current market continues in the way it does, and the way in which product drops are so optimized, do we actually stand a chance? Because obviously we don't have any bots. What do you think?
Yeah. At the moment, I'm just being really cautious, to be honest. Like TikTok vouchers in the UK, that's the only way you'll really see me buying English boxes at the moment. Without those, I just can't put £300 down for a brand new set. I just can't do it. So I think the best time for those kind of sets, I want to say next year, but we just have to see. Like I thought this market would have been calming down by now, and it seems like it's still getting more crazy. So at this point in time, it's all new to me. You know, the last boom wasn't like this.
Maybe something that would be interesting for me to ask you for the viewers actually is there something you've passed on before, which is at a very high price that never came back down to a price that you were able to buy it at? Is there something you regret like that?
Yeah, Evolving Skies is an obvious one. I think everyone feels that way. I thought I can't pay, what was it, like £700 at the start of the year? And I think I was looking at that, I was like, that's an entire case of boxes for one box. Like that's crazy. And now, it's over double that, I imagine.
It's like 1.8k pounds, over 2k USD. It's like gained some momentum again recently. I think Sword and Shield has been stalling for a bit, but with that going up, I think people are going to be starting to look at the other cheaper Sword and Shield sets again.
Yeah, definitely.
We've got a question from Monkey. Good question. Actually, we were talking about it in our group chat this morning, weren't we? Why don't you answer that first?
A little bit, yeah. I feel like it's not quite 151 in terms of how special it is. I feel like the set could have been way, way better. If you're looking at Team Rocket Returns and you're looking at this set, they could have improved it a lot. But I think it doesn't matter. I think it's still going to do well anyway. It's Team Rocket. I think it's always going to be one of the best sets in the generation to have. I can buy it for like 50 to 60 pounds. I think it's a good place to buy it at. But higher than that, I'd rather just wait and hope for reprints. I think I have like 4 Japanese boxes. I'm just going to have those for now. I'm not going to rush into buying loads more unless I see really good deals. But I've just, from experience, seeing 151 go down to £40 makes me look at this set and think you need to be a lot lower before I'm ready to buy this, you know?
So the counterpoint I would say to that maybe is 151. The way 151 crashed last summer, I think when these things happen, isn't always just about the print numbers. It's about the market conditions at the time, which is why when we talk about Surging Sparks and Destined Rivals, in terms of numbers, yes, they're going to print more. but what are the market conditions going to be like when they release? Because if they print more and the market is dead, then it's a great opportunity to be buying. But if they print more and the market's still as hot as it is right now, it's going to be really difficult to pick up. I agree with you. Glory of Team Rocket isn't as popular as a set as 151. On the flip side, I think that probably plays into shortening its print window compared to 151. Like
Yeah.
151 got printed so much because it was a 200-pound box a few weeks after release and stayed close to that price, not exactly at that price, for like 1 to 2 years after. I wonder with Glory, because it's not got that much attention, it probably won't get reprinted as much, but we don't know. To answer your question, Monkey, I was actually looking at putting some money into it right now. I mean, the price you can get it for from Japan is about 11,000 to 11,500 yen at the moment. I can't remember what it was on release. It was like 22,000, 25,000, maybe more. So comparatively, it has gotten a lot cheaper. And it is something I'm looking at. But when I do these buys anyways, I'm not buying in like multiple case quantities. So if I'm spending, I don't know, 55, 60 pounds on these boxes, on like 3 boxes, I don't think I'm going to lose sleep if they go down a little bit. But yeah, I do think it's one to look at as we move into the mega block, as one of the sets that people is going to start maybe paying less attention to. But I do think it's underrated because when you're opening Destined Rivals, when you're opening Glory of Team Rocket packs, it is a lot of fun pulling those Rockets Pokemon.
Even the commons, even the commons and uncommons, it just feels cool. It's like, oh, this hasn't happened for 20 years, you know. I want to ask, do you prefer Heatwave or Rocket?
Heatwave.
Because Heatwave.
So the question, if the question is about the set rather than like as an investment, I would say I prefer Heatwave Arena. I just think if you gave scoring point totals for the SARs and the ARs, I think Heatwave wins on the ARs. Because the Rockets ARs, you've got the Orbeetle, you've got the Raticate, you've got the Weezing, I think, which are all in the same sort of cartoony art style. I think actually you've got the Meowth as well, which isn't
and the Wobbuffet.
Exactly. So it's been fully in the sort of cartoony art style, and I think maybe take a few off from that art style and do them a bit cooler, like the Ethan's Typhlosion or the Misty Psyduck. I think I still prefer Heatwave, even though it's like cheaper. Sometimes it's harder to appreciate something when it's cheaper, but I do think it's a stronger set.
I feel disloyal to Team Rocket for saying this, but I prefer Heatwave as well. I think it's just a stronger set, but time will tell. I think having Rocket on its side will really help Glory of Team Rocket to succeed because, like you say, even opening common cards feels cool and it's nice. There's that charm to it, whereas Heatwave's just another set.
Well, sometimes as long as the set hits a certain level of being good, people don't really look into all the details that maybe we look into, right? Maybe it's a good time to talk about your Fusion Arts booster box sale. So Fusion Arts being the Japanese equivalent of Fusion Strike. Can I talk about that? Or
yeah, go for it.
Why don't you talk about that?
It's been delivered now, so it's too late.
Okay.
Yeah, I sold a box of Fusion Arts that I didn't expect to sell. I don't actually want to sell any Fusion Arts. So when I put it on eBay, I put it for way higher than any other box of Fusion Arts at the time. And it sold for £180 a couple of days ago, which I think is like 230, 240 US dollars, which seems very high. Now, the thing is with Fusion Arts, I love the box art, I love Mew, but it's not as good as Fusion Strike, and it never will be. It's missing Espeon VMAX, it's missing Gengar VMAX, it's missing Celebi V. The only thing it has in common, I think, is just the Mew VMAX, right?
Yeah.
So that box is, I don't want to say like avoid Fusion Arts at all, because I still think it's really cool. And it got overshadowed by loads of other sets and kind of went under the radar almost. But you've got to be very careful when you're looking into these sets because they're not always the equivalents. My mind always goes back to Holon Phantoms and Delta Species. Those are two sets that are very different, English and Japanese. Japanese Holon Phantoms has no EX cards and 1 gold star, which so a lot of people don't really know that. They just assume it's the same as the English set. And Delta Species doesn't have any EX cards either. They took out the Jolteon, Flareon, and Vaporeon for decks. and then that's just got your Groudon and Kyogre Gold Star and Metagross. But yeah, be careful if you love a set in English and everyone's talking about a set in English, and you think, oh, I'm gonna get the Japanese box because no one's looking at that set. Just be careful. Look at the set list, because some of these boxes take cards out, like, you know.
So yeah, I mean, on the flip side, I think that's probably what helps Glory of Team Rocket as well, because like past a certain point of good, like if you call it like a B+ or A tier set, people just look at the box art. It's got Mewtwo, it's got Giovanni, it's got the Rocket logo on it, and they're like, that's a sick box, I want to buy it. So sometimes what makes up the value of the box isn't usually the only reason why people buy it, is what I would say. And Fusion Arts was the example that I wanted to raise in that respect.
When I'm thinking about coming back into Pokemon 2018, this box caught my eye just based on the box art, nothing else. Like I didn't look into the set list of this set or any other Sun and Moon set. I just saw this box and wanted this art. I wanted this artwork, and that's what made me buy it, and then keep on buying it. But yeah, box art is so important, and you can see that with things like Bandit Ring, for example. We've spoken about that before. It's literally Ancient Origins. Ancient Origins is like 3-4 grand, and then Bandit Ring's like the cheapest Japanese XY box, but it's the same set. So box art really, really does matter. Yeah, I've learned that.
Before I go on to the next question from Sam, or maybe you think about this, what's the most bait booster box in terms of it has a sick box art?
You know this one.
I'm starting. The first one that's coming to mind is Dragon Storm. I don't know if you.
Okay, I thought you were gonna say Remix Bout.
Yeah, that's a good pick.
Do
you have it?
Yeah.
Do you want to show people?
It should be in here.
All right. So for anyone that's just joining, we're just talking about,
there you go,
in general, what makes people buy booster boxes. And you see that box, Remix Bout.
I'll get it out.
Tag team box, which I think was mixed with Ultra Genesis and Dream League into Cosmic Eclipse. So Max takes it out. On the front, you've obviously got the big 3, which is obviously a huge draw. But when you look at the actual set list, it's probably amongst the least impressive. Box art is fire, drawn by Mitsuhiro.
Looks amazing. Yeah.
Cards inside, nah, I'm sorry. I mean, the thing is, you've got the 3 alt arts, which are the Venusaur Snivy, drawn by Yuka Mori. Nice artwork, but not something that the market values, so to speak. The Blastoise Piplup is probably the best one. And then the Charizard Braixen, I think the art just looks a bit weird in there to me. So when you compare that to the other tag team sets, this is one where the box art looks really, really good. But actually what you find inside the set isn't so good. And actually, I think the market is correcting a little bit. Because or if you look for the last 2 years, this Japanese booster box Remix Bout was amongst the highest after Tag World and Dream League. And now it's basically been overtaken by that.
It was neck and neck with this at one point. Now this is like £100 ahead.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Which I'm glad to see this making some moves, because this is a very, very, very nice set. It's probably one of my favorite box arts ever.
For sure. Miracle Twin. We've got a question from Sam Wick. Thoughts on Japanese SV booster boxes is basically the premise of the question. Obviously, these have been printed a lot, and last year I think was probably the worst year. Not probably, probably like outright the worst year. And as the set quality dipped, the booster box quantity was still coming out. So we had a period. I mean, I think that's what contributed to 151 Japanese boxes being so low as well, is that you had Wild Force and Cyber Judge get printed into the ground like 4, 5, 6 times. I don't know if it's exactly like ridiculous. That. You had Violet reprints, and I think it got reprinted more than once as well. I don't know about Mask of Change, but in general, you had Night Wanderer, which is basically Shrouded Fable, and Mask of Change come out in high quantities. So what do you think about how this is going to... Let's talk about the good Japanese sets, because I think that's more relevant in terms of the good Japanese sets that got printed a lot. How are they going to do over time? So I'm thinking the Japanese version of Surging Sparks, maybe Paradise Dragona, Supercharged Breaker, Crimson Haze. How do you think those will do?
If the set is good, then you can look at things like Lost Abyss and just hope it does the same thing, essentially, because that got printed a lot too. Paradigm Trigger's got printed tons. Paradigm Trigger's gone from like £35 to 80 in the last 6 months.
Yeah.
Just sort of watched it climb. So if they can do it, I believe Supercharged Breaker can too. All these questions all depend on how long you plan to stay in the game. If you're here for a year and you're buying Supercharged Breaker, you're probably not going to like the outcome, because in a year's time, I can't see it being, where Lost Abyss is now. But if you're here for 4 or 5 years, something like that could be a really good purchase, in my opinion. So, yeah, it really depends how long you want to be here. Because even sets that have been overprinted, if it's a good set, it doesn't really matter long term. You look at 10 years ago, Roaring Skies, for example. I think I have a box here. Yeah, this set got reprinted so badly that the stores had to shut down in America. And now, how much is Roaring Skies? Like $2.5 or something. Boom, sexy. Look at that.
That is a very relevant box, actually, considering I think the Mega Latias. Actually, I'm curious where that Mega Latias is going, like which set it's going into, because that if Mega Brave, i.e. the Lucario set, has Lucario SAR, Venusaur SAR, and Mega Latias SAR, I think that one is the clear winner.
Is there still 2 more SARs to be revealed then from the Mega
Well,
set?
we've had the Kangaskhan. I can't remember the other ones, but don't forget there's also a trainer card coming. I think Lily in the Mega Brave side and Acerola's in the Mega Symphonia side. Now I don't know if they're going to get SARs or not. Following all of the SV patterns, I don't think there's a single set where a trainer doesn't get an SAR. William, I'm not entirely sure. I think it's Mega Brave, but I would need to double check.
I think the Lucario set. That's Mega Brave, right?
I think it's in the Lucario set, but that's just based on 5 seconds of reading news and memory. Just hoping I'm right. But yeah, I think the point you made about Paradigm Trigger going from 35 to 80 is interesting, because I think from someone else's perspective, what I would say is Paradigm Trigger was 80 and then it went down to 35, and now it's gone back up to 80. So I think that plays into the point about it's hard to time exactly when is the perfect time to buy, but also there's nothing to stop the boxes from going down, and you might have to be patient. I mean, the counterpoint with SV that I've noticed is that the most expensive Scarlet and Violet Japanese card, I believe, is still the Iono SAR PSA 10. So when we talk about Lost Abyss, it's got the Giratina Altar PSA 10 is like 700, 800 pounds. Paradigm Trigger, the Lugia's 400, 500 pounds. SV doesn't seem to have a Pokemon equivalent SAR, and I think that might hurt the sets long term. The top cards, I'm trying to think, you've got the Bubble Mew, the Pikachu, they're all like 250, 300 pound cards. What do you think about that? Does that affect
right.
Does that affect the box price long run? The value of the top chase, or do you think those top chase SARs are going to go up?
I mean, we don't know if those singles are going to stay those prices. Those singles could drop in half, they could double, at which point the box, you're going to see some movement in that too, I think. I'm trying to think of Sword and Shield if there's any like sleeper cards that were truly not that expensive when they came out and got really expensive. Because for Sun and Moon, it's easy to think of the Lovebirds, right? They were quite cheap when they came out, and now they're just, you don't even want to talk about those. I
think compared to what they are now, most of the Sword and Shield alt arts were really, really cheap on release.
Yeah.
I didn't collect English alt arts, and I don't collect English alt arts, but I'm pretty sure the Moonbryon Raw would have been 300 to 500 pounds on release, and for a long time. I think these prices only started going way up last year.
Yeah. And it's like when the singles prices really shoot up, then people look at the box like, well, the box has to be more expensive. And then when the box goes up more, people are like, well, what's making up that money? Why is the box so expensive? So then the best singles start to rise, and they kind of just keep trying to top each other. But then you do go into quiet markets where that stops happening for up to, I don't know, how long was it quiet for? 2021 to 2024. So it was a long time. We had to wait to see these good times again, you know? This is a
Next
game.
question.
I think you have to be ready to like put at least 5 years into this if you want to see some real good results from investing in Pokemon. I think it looks easy. Like right now, you could have jumped in 2-3 months ago and earned loads of money in just 2-3 months because we're in this crazy market. But most of the time, we're not in this crazy market, and you have to be ready for those times.
Yeah. We've got another question. I'm slowly struggling to keep up with the chat, but thanks everyone for tuning in so far. We have got a question from Grumpy Young Man again. Thoughts on Chinese 151 boxes? I actually was going to cover this in another video, but why don't you go first? I'm going to pull up the card that Grumpy Young Man's talking about whilst my cat's bothering me in the background.
Gengar Pikachu. Yeah.
What do you think about simplified Chinese and 151 as well?
I like that they're doing unique cards, like only available in that language. It's going to draw people from all different languages into simplified Chinese, I think, because it's only available in, obviously in that language. So people that don't have exposure to it, that want every Pikachu card or want every Gengar card, are now going to be looking at buying simplified Chinese, and they might get hooked. They might become regular customers. It's good. I haven't really bought any simplified Chinese for about a year now. I got all of the Sun and Moon boxes, the original 3, and then the tag team boxes, and then I sort of tapped out for a bit. But seeing these exclusives like the Arcanine EX and the Gengar Pikachu, it's got me wanting to buy some more again. I think the prices have gone back up. I think for a little while, simplified Chinese wasn't that expensive, and now when I check these boxes, they've really shot up. So maybe I'm getting in a bit late.
So I was watching Crystal Collects' video right before the stream because she's opening a 151 surprise. So for people who don't know, the simplified Chinese 151 is divided into 4 different sets. And it's basically called 151 Collect, and then you've got one word after it. So you've got 151 Collect Journey, then you've got 151 Collect Hope, which is the Pikachu Psyduck, and then you've got 151 Collect Surprise, which is this Gengar Chew set. And the last one, I don't know yet because it's not out. But something that surprised me is the main set list apparently is the same across the 3 boxes, and the only difference is in the chase cards, being this AR card. So the first one in 151 Journey, I don't even remember what it was, but the second one I know was Pikachu Psyduck AR. Oh yeah, no, sorry. The first one, 151 Journey, is that big Pikachu, and you've got the picture from underneath. Almost looks like a Pikachu VMAX. Obviously, from this set, you've got the Gengar Chew, which is really hot. Unverified pull rate, just based on what I've been seeing online, is 1 in 1 to 2 cases or something like that. But one thing to note about these sets, apparently, based on what Crystal Collects is saying, is the main set is the same across all of them. And actually, when you look at it, it's not as nice as OG 151. I don't think it's got the usual ARs from 151. This subset has the Bubble Mew and Alakazam SAR, but I think the first 2 subsets didn't have any SARs. So it's a lot of money to put into for one chase card carrying the set. It does have something special in that all of these Pikachu ARs are illustrated by Oswaldo Cato. Same artist, same feel. Then you just got to look at the macro picture. China is a big emerging market, I think. It's got a lot of untapped growth. You think about where the capital is flowing in the world. I feel like when I look at these videos of these card shows, card conventions in Singapore, Malaysia, China, or not China, sorry, Singapore, Malaysia, people seem to be willing to drop a lot of money. So yeah, I think
I was just going to say a lot of my expensive sales on eBay have been from China. There's definitely an very active market for Pokemon in China, and I think that, like you say, this stuff could get even more popular. There's a lot of potential there. There's a lot of people that speak Chinese and are able to read these cards too, more so than a lot of other languages. So,
what do you want to say to Legendary Mewtwo's comment? So this is about, I raised the question, and people in the comments, if you've got any more ideas, let me know. What's an example of a set which has a great box art but the set inside is actually really weak. You guys let me know in the comments. But yeah, what would you say to Mewtwo saying that?
I'm not very happy with that Mewtwo, I'll be honest. I love Champion Road. But were you collecting in Gen 3 when it was new? Because this is the thing. This set is a lot more impressive to someone that was collecting Gen 3 when it was new than to someone who wasn't, in my opinion, because a lot of the cards are reprints. Even Neo, there's some Neo reprints, I think. Yeah, I love this set. I absolutely love this set. And even the GX cards, the standard GX ones, are throwbacks to Pokemon from the EX series. So like the Mr. Mime GX, it's in the same position as the one from Fire Red Leaf Green. Salamence EX is the same as the one from EX Deoxys. If you actually look at them, I think this is an absolutely amazing set. And the bottom of the box is red. You never see that. It's just a very unique set. I'm a big fan of it, and I will not take any slander of this set. Thank you.
Good bait.
Yeah.
Interesting point that Fox McCloud brought up. I actually saw one of his eBay sales for Lost Origin for £550. I don't know if you saw that. I don't know if you saw that, Max.
No, that's crazy.
I don't know if we've got any US viewers, but I'm pretty sure Lost Origin in the US is like £380 to £400. So like 500, $550, and then Fusion Strike is like 700, 800. If we have anyone from the States who wants to correct me on the price, let me know. But in the UK, it's interesting because Lost Origin has been having some sort of tussle in price with Fusion Strike since they were in the 200 to 300 range. So I think Lost Origin originally was ahead, and then Fusion Strike, because it was still available on the Pokemon Center UK for ages until basically the end of last year, only made its run in the UK at the very end of last year and then the start of this year. And I think that was also a catalyst for US prices going up.
Yeah.
But it's an interesting dynamic because Lost Origin now is basically equal to or more than Fusion Strike.
I know you probably prefer Fusion Strike, right? Out of the two?
I think Fusion Strike is a clear winner in terms of the set list. And I think the only reason why the prices are similar in the UK is just how long ago the box was.
We bought in November. Did we buy a box of Fusion Strike? We both got one.
I bought 2 Fusion Strikes towards the end of last year. There was still plenty of deals available last year, man. Like there were 15% off codes from EUIC or Worlds. Stack that up with 151 UPCs. I still have the receipt. I bought a 151 UPC Fusion Strike booster box with 15%.
I think I did the same thing. It was ridiculous. Like if you look at the price of those 2 items now compared to just 6-7 months ago, whenever that was, it's insane. I think Sword and Shield is just the new Sun and Moon. It's just been accepted as that, and Sun and Moon's the new XY, and XY is the new Black and White. If you look at the prices, you know, each time a generation goes by, they just copy the same generation before. It's great. Sun and Moon loose packs are something that I love selling now because I bought. You remember that deal I got from that old guy? For like 400 Sun and Moon packs for like £3 each or whatever. I've started chipping away at those now and listing those, and I can't believe what they're selling for, especially the tag team sets. Team up, £125 a pack. It's insane. Like, do you think they're going to hold? Do you think they're going to retrace a bit? Do you think they're going to keep going?
Are we talking about Sword and Shield?
No, sorry, I was talking about like Sun and Moon tag team sets in English, because obviously they're missing. Like one of our pet peeves with that is that they're missing some of the chase cards because they've been used as tin promos.
They're missing.
It's just it blows my mind how expensive the English boxes are. They're just a lesser version of these, and these are like a fifth of the price. Either these are going to really shoot up, or they're going to really come down because it seems like the gap is just too silly at the moment between like a Unified Minds and a Miracle Twin, for example. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I do. And I don't know if you're still watching Earn, but Earn Collects posted a comment, but I was more referring to the fact that Earn recently posted some videos about selling. You sold all your Sun and Moon booster boxes except for an Unbroken Bonds, right? So what do you think about, if you're watching Earn, what do you think about the current price ratio and relationship between English and Japanese Sun and Moon sets. I mean, I agree with what you're saying, Max. So Team Up is missing the Pikachu Zekrom alt art that's in the Tag Team Power Tin. Unified Minds, I mean, all of the sets other than Cosmic Eclipse are missing the mascot Pokemon on the front of the set in the alt art form, because Team Up is Pikachu Zekrom, right?
Why
You
is it
don't
a pack art in English if it's not even in the set? You know what I
Well,
mean? It just
you do have the normal, and then you have the full art, the rainbow, I guess. And at the
yeah.
time, rainbows were probably the hot property in
Mm.
Sun and Moon, right? Like tastes change over time, so that's quite
Yeah.
interesting. But yeah, so Team Up doesn't have the Pikachu Zekrom alt art. Unified Minds doesn't have the Mew and Mewtwo alt art. It also doesn't have the Giratina Garchomp because it combines GGN and it doesn't have it. Unbroken Bonds doesn't have the Reshiram Charizard. So Cosmic Eclipse is the only one that has the mascot Pokemon on the front as an alt art in its set. To be
I'm trying to
honest
think
with
of the
you,
other tins. Isn't there an Eevee and Snorlax tin and a Venusaur one as well?
yeah,
So their promos taken out
but
too.
the Eevee Snorlax was a box promo as well for Tag Bolt, I think. But yeah, it's interesting. It's interesting. I think there is the problem with answering your question about do I think these, you know, four-figure English booster boxes can go down or not is that I don't have the data points myself, because up until the start of last year, I basically had no English booster boxes left. I actually sold them off. So it'd be interesting to see, but I think with anything that's if you think about it as how far away it is from its original price, the higher you get away from the original price, the more wiggle room there is for you to come down at any point in that range, even if it's like 5%, 10%. So do I think those boxes can retrace a bit in a crash? For sure. Because I think always a small component of what people or what makes people buy products is confidence in the market in general, right? And if confidence in the market in general is low, I can definitely see people being less willing to spend money on these things. On the flip side, they might think it's a safer investment. I don't know, to be honest with you. I can definitely see, what I can tell you though is that I can definitely see Sword and Shield boxes retracing a little bit. I mean, they have already. Like, they're not just going straight up, right? Like, I don't have the exact data, but Sword and Shield had a wild run towards the start of this year. Then it stabilized the last month or two. And now it looks like maybe it's primed to go back up. I don't know. We will see. Earn Collects says Japanese is super undervalued for many sets up to the 1K price point. Believe it's only a matter of time. Well, if that's true, then that will be very good news for me and Max. Though I have way less tag team boxes than you, so. What do you think about Tag Bolt? What do you think about Japanese? So the one reservation I have with Japanese booster boxes, although I don't know if I should have that, is when you get to the four-figure mark for a Japanese booster box, I feel like it is much more difficult to find a buyer for that box than a four-figure English box. Like the buyer pool is lower and lower. I mean, even I don't buy £500. I think I'd be more likely to buy a £500 English box than a £500 Japanese box. I mean, I've been wanting SM7 Charisma of the Cracked Sky, which is the Japanese version of Celestial Storm, for ages, but I've just never pulled the trigger.
I think coming back to what you just said about like you find it harder to buy a £500 Japanese box as opposed to £500 English box. Does that come from the fact that retail for Japanese is so much lower than English? It's like a quarter of the price. For them to be both be £500, it's almost like the Japanese one is £2,000 in our heads because it's, you know what I mean? It's that much further away from retail.
I think there's a few more things that go into it. I think it's easier to authenticate a modern English box than a modern Japanese.
Good point.
For anyone watching, there are issues with resealing of Japanese booster boxes in the market. At one point, it put me off a lot from buying, but it seems to have calmed down. The thing that worries me about resealing, though, is that I've seen people on YouTube opening Japanese booster boxes and not know that it's resealed because they don't know what they're meant to be able to pull out of a box. So I saw someone open Glory of Team Rocket booster box, and he pulled 3 ARs, which you are supposed to get, but he didn't pull an SR or higher, and he was happy with that. So I don't know how many boxes are in circulation that are like that, and people don't even know that they're getting scammed. But I do think that I've gotten better and more confident at feeling what the seal should feel like for Scarlet and Violet. I don't know if you know what I mean, but for Scarlet and Violet, it's very clear. It's a tougher and more glossy feeling seal than Sword and Shield. And Sword and Shield is like, there's a bit more friction on it. But I think with older boxes, the things that I look out for, and I'm going off on a tangent, are usually air holes. And also if the seal feels aged, that's usually a good sign because it makes me feel like it wasn't tampered with more recently. Legendary Mewtwo. Oh, sorry, Samwit. Crimson Haze booster boxes. I will let you touch on that while I get some water. Do you think Crimson Haze are a buy? So the Crimson Haze price is like £60 in the UK now and like 10,000 yen in Japan. What would you say?
Yeah, I do still think it's a pretty good price, to be honest. I could see that box being like £120 in a couple years, providing they don't, print it to death. It is the best half of Twilight Masquerade. A lot of people talking about Twilight Masquerade saying, "Oh, this is a good investment at the moment." Why don't you just cut out all the bad stuff from Twilight Masquerade and buy yourself Crimson Haze? It's my question. Mask of Change is not terrible, but outside of Carmine, what is there? Do you know, Thomas?
It's got the 4 mask SARs, which is just a killer for me.
Who wants those though? Like that, you know what I mean? It's just that's pollution. I think Twilight Masquerade is polluted with Mask of Change, and people deserve better. They should just go buy Crimson Haze instead. That's what I believe. Because I see Twilight Masquerade neck and neck with like Surging Sparks, and I don't think it should be that high of all that pollution in there. We need to cut the masks out, That's just my take on it. I think Crimson's still a good buy at £60. Yeah, definitely.
I think you could have gotten much earlier, but I agree. I don't think it's a bad play to make, so to speak. Just thinking about the set, it's got one of the, obviously it's not as valuable, but it's got the EV AR translate into English. It's one of the most popular illustration rares. You've obviously got the Greninja SIR, you've got the Blood Moon Ursaluna, which is not that popular, but it's a nice artwork. You've got the Hisuian Growlithe and Perrin pair. So again, going back to that theme of connected artworks, it does that pretty well. I think it was undervalued for the longest time. I think at the moment, I'm not buying it, but that doesn't mean that it's not a good buy, if that makes sense.
I'm happy with how much I've got, and that's the only reason I'm not buying more. That's like, if I didn't have any, I'd be buying it now. To be honest, I don't know if a reprint. I don't know if they have the facilities for a big Crimson reprint. They've got to focus on these newer sets. That's why. I mean, maybe they'll do like another little wave of Crimson, but I can't imagine they're going to flood the market with it. We're going into the mega block. They've got to be focused on, sets like Terrastor and all these new ones. Crimson feels. How old is Crimson? About a year and a half, year and 3 months.
Year and 2-3 months, yeah.
Yeah. So there is still risk for the next 9 to 12 months that we could get more, but I think it's a good set. It doesn't really matter that much. If it does happen, just pick a load up, I think. Yeah.
The one thing that detracts from Crimson Haze before I move on to the next one is
Yeah. So
I think it's doing a disservice even to Blood Moon Ursaluna. But I think those are good pickups for people who know what's inside. So sometimes if you're willing to look a bit deeper than other people and you believe that the market will correct in the long run in recognizing the value of the box, those are potentially places where you can find opportunity. Things that people wouldn't bat an eye at because of the box art. Maybe is a good play. I don't know. Chad, what about rare booster boxes of mid-era like Best of XY, Black and White? Rarely see sells. However, the newer common collector doesn't feel the hype of these. I think, well, Max, you probably know Black and White box prices more than me. I mean, you sold 3 together at the start of this year, didn't you?
Yeah. At this point, like I checked 130 point a couple of days ago, and there's been 2 Black and White boxes like in the last few months. There's just not really much going on, like no public sales with them. So I'm kind of having to guess what they're worth at the moment just by looking at sales of like XY boxes and stuff like that.
To be
Yeah,
honest,
there just isn't much. Go on, what were you going to say?
no. Well, to be honest, I think those must be going up or undervalued if
Yeah,
they're not going up, because you look at
yeah,
the black and white plasma cards in Japanese.
yeah.
In the
There you
group
go.
chat, I think a few days ago, Leo Hater TCG linked the Genesect from Megalo Cannon, the Plasma Freeze Megalo Cannon Team Plasma's Genesect,
Mm.
going for like 500-600 US dollars in a Japanese PSA 10. And
I mean
most black
that's
and white PSA 10s were like £100 to £400, and
across
not
the
least
board. They've gone up.
Genesect.
Mm. Especially the plasma sets, the last bit of black and white. We haven't seen any boxes come to market, so we don't know what they're worth. But with the singles, double, and triple M, you can imagine the box has gone up as well. So, although I do have a lot of single loose packs for black and white listed, and they've not really seen any attention. Maybe that could even be a good opportunity if you believe these these prices are going to hold for these cards. You know, you could buy a pack for 50, and it could have a card worth 600 inside. That's quite enticing. So maybe we do see the sealed for those areas go up soon.
Grumpy Young Man's asked the best question of the night so far, because I keep talking about that. Do you think Silver Tempest booster boxes are undervalued at 300, or is Destined Rivals overvalued at 260? So I actually bought 3 Silver Tempest booster boxes for 280 each this week. Actually, yeah, I just decided to go down with it. But the comparison that I made was always with Destined Rivals. It's a tough question, to be honest. I do think Destined Rivals is overvalued, but that's sometimes you got to adapt to things that are happening in the market, even if they break your inner worldview of how things should work. So I think there's a natural instinct when you look at Silver Tempest at 300 and Destined Rivals at 260 to think that shouldn't be happening. In some cases, it's true that it shouldn't, but in some cases, it just is happening and will continue. So that's what I'm trying to sort of balance out. So I think it's stupid, but that's based on the age of the sets. If I
I
look
think
at
things.
inside, Silver Tempest is mainly carried by the Lugia Altar, which is 600, 700 pounds. The Destined Rivals SIR Mewtwo and a PSA 10, I think, is about that price or higher. Obviously, it can come down, but obviously, it's then got the illustration rares like Ethan's Typhlosion, Misty's Psyduck. You've got the Rocket's Moltres. You've got the Ethan's Ho-Oh, the Cynthia's Garchomp. So, as a set, I would be tempted to say it's a stronger set than Silver Tempest booster box. And one way of looking at it is Sword and Shield boxes were slept on for years. People are just not sleeping on Destined Rivals, so they're pricing in 2 years of growth into it right now. But I don't know if that means that it's overvalued. What do you think?
I think that we're living in a time of just everything's accelerating a lot quicker than it used to. So like we know Destined Rivals is really good and probably the best Scarlet Violet set. And we know it should be really expensive. We know it should be £260, but not yet. Like we know it should be there in a few years, 2 years or 3 years or something. It shouldn't be there right now, but it just is because, like you say, there's just so much demand. Like I feel like I bought my Roaring Skies for 350 in 2022, which is 7 years after it came out. Destined Rivals is climbing to 350 and it's been out for 2 months. You know what I mean? I feel like we know it's a good set, and it's kind of these things are happening before they should happen naturally, and I think that's just because there's so many people in the market right now. And you know, when we start to drop numbers of people, I think there's going to be less competition for these boxes, and they're going to calm down a bit. Things are going to stop accelerating so fast because it's really hard to keep up with how fast things are going. Like you're seeing sets from this generation at the same price that from a box from an old generation. It took years to get to that price. You know what I mean? It could have taken a XY box 4 or 5 years to get to this price, and this one's at that price out the gate. Like that to me feels very stressful and weird, and it makes me not want to pay this 260 for a brand new box. It feels very risky to me. I think Destined Rivals is the fusion strike of Scarlet Violet, but it shouldn't be that price yet. You know, it should be. Fusion Strike was 130 for like 3 years, so we shouldn't be seeing 260 on a brand new box. I don't think, but you know, the market's doing its thing. My opinion doesn't matter. That it is what it is. I really like Destined Rivals, and I think Destined Rivals might be stronger than Silver Tempest. Obviously, if I'm comparing it to Fusion Strike, but it just shouldn't be competing with Sword and Shield boxes in terms of value just yet. You know, give it a couple years, then yeah, I'd let it compete with Silver Tempest, but not. It feels weird doing it right now. You know.
Yeah. We've got 24 viewers in the chat. Thank you everyone for joining so far. Can I just ask if there's one thing you can do tonight? It's leave a like on the stream, because that really helps push the algorithm. I don't know how. Everyone always says it helps it. It just does, but I don't know exactly how. But if you can just drop a like, that would be great. Quickly batting off this question, Japanese reps. If it has air holes, is it a good or bad thing? I look out for air holes usually when I look at booster boxes, because they're done, I think, so that the box doesn't compress too much when it's being transported in the air or something like that. Earn collects with big question. Pretend you're starting over and have 1K to spend. What are you buying for long term?
Put me on the spot. I need to have a think about that.
I don't think I would buy Destined Rivals, because 1K US dollars is what, 800 pounds?
Yeah.
So if you have to buy Destined Rivals box at the current price, you'd be spending up 1/3 of your budget. My instinct is always, in that sense, when I'm constrained on budget, to go for things that hit that sweet spot of having a low entry cost and having the higher upside potential. I think I'm just stating the obvious there. But if I'm looking at the cheapest things to buy that I believe will go up, even if they might not go up as quickly as something that's hot at the moment, the cheapest thing you can buy right now in the current market, I would say, is probably SV Japanese booster boxes. Now, I don't know if that's the best investment. I would probably spread some of my investment into it. Interesting point to pivot on, actually, is Pokemon 151 Japanese, although I haven't had people ask me about it. Last time we had a live stream, I said I felt like it was highly likely that we get another reprint.
I thought so too. It's not happened.
Outside of restocks in like convenience stores in Japan, we haven't had any like major reprints.
The window's closing. It's been 25 months, I think, since the Japanese set came out.
I think as a basic investor boy, I would probably get a 151 box as part of that 1K budget.
Yeah, I can see that. I really like, you know, you said low cost entry. I really like sleeve packs. I've got into those recently. I'd probably do a bit of that. Sword and Shield, Scarlet Violet, if I could find a good deal on those. I really like my sleeve packs, because I'm looking at older generations, and they do go for a lot more than just a loose pack, and they don't really cost much more than a loose pack when they're brand new. So that's one to look out for.
Yeah. Anything else you'd pick up? What era would you be aiming for mainly?
Obviously, the newer, the more stuff you can get. So
yeah,
I love quantity. I love quality, but I really love quantity too. It makes me feel really excited when I see, you know, a large amount of things go up. So I'd probably like my style would probably buy loads of little things, but then like a Japanese 151 box, I could justify that. I think if I was just entering now, that would be something I'd be really keen on. Japanese 151 box, actually. We should probably be buying more if we're saying this. So
we should be. The one thing that I think you're just 151 is that in that gamble territory, is it going to get a reprint or not? On the flip side, does it really matter if you're holding for the long term? Well, I guess when the boxes were £40 last summer, it does matter if you're paying out £130.
Yeah,
but it does feel like we're in that territory where it's almost out of that print window. It's been out for 2 years in Japanese now.
I'm curious how the English 151 is going to pan out, because I look at previous generations, like Sun and Moon, Sword and Shield, and I look at the sets that ran ahead early on, like for instance, Shining Legends. I feel like that was really loved, and that was ahead. Hidden Fates, they were ahead of all the other sets at the time. Hidden Fates was £10 a pack when Team Up was £4 a pack, for example. Will 151 be another example of that, like a set that was really popular when it came out and it ran ahead, and then all the other sets kind of overtook it over time? Or do you think 151 is just too important and too iconic? I'm not sure
Well,
where my opinion is, but I just wanted to put that out there. That could happen. It could go the Hidden Fates route.
well, let me ask the audience, what do you guys think about English 151? Is it overvalued? Is the power of nostalgia what worth propping it up to what it is? Because if I compare English 151 to Japanese 151, objectively Japanese is better. I mean, Japanese has the master balls. The English just has reverse hollows, right?
Hmm. I like that you can buy a booster box of the Japanese version too. You can't have a booster box of the English.
Yeah.
So that draws me to Japanese a bit more.
Tough one to call, because I never imagined 151 English hitting what it would in the span of time that it would. Obviously, you've got a much wider array of products. Well, actually, that's not true because Hidden Fates had loads of different products. The PC ETB is just shooting straight ahead. I think it's like 400, 420 pounds.
Yeah, it's
You can
mental.
get that for retail. I got that for retail in April last year. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Any thoughts on celebrations shooting up? Long overdue or market manipulation? Have you been keeping track with celebrations prices?
Not really. I see stuff flash up on my feed, like new record sales and stuff like that. And it's just people are just speculating. They know the 30th anniversary is next year. I don't think these people suddenly just really care about the set. I think they're just hoping that it's going to really go up before the 30th anniversary or when that is. And then they're going to offload it. I imagine that's the mindset of a lot of the people. I don't really like celebrations that much. Personally, I don't really care for it. I haven't even got any of the English celebrations. And it probably is a good thing to have. Yeah.
I think the one thing about celebrations that people keep forgetting is I'm pretty sure almost all products, including the ETB, have sword and shield packs inside, right? It's not just the celebrations packs. I'm pretty sure this has like 2 to 3 sword and shield packs as well.
Okay.
Did you know that?
No, I didn't know that. I know. I think the mini tin had like one normal pack and then one or two celebrations packs. I remember that.
I might be wrong, but I'm pretty sure the celebrations ETB has.
Are they good sets or?
They would have been seen as trash at the time, but I'm pretty sure there's Chilling Rain. Look at that. Darkness Ablaze, Vivid Voltage, Battle Styles, and Chilling Rain.
Okay.
Plus the Greninja Gold Star. I keep forgetting that. So that's obviously playing a part in propping up the price. I think Celebrations is a mix of everything. To respond to your comment about people speculating, I think what I've seen is with XY, with Legends RCs coming out and Megas going up. I previously tried to do a play in, people don't know this, but I tried to do a play in 2022-ish when Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl came out by buying Level X cards because I was like, Diamond and Pearl is coming back, so people are gonna like that more. But I don't think anything happened to Level X cards.
I remember thinking the same way, and that's why I didn't bother buying any mega cards this time because I was like, well, it's probably going to be the same outcome. But I'm reaching if I try and buy mega cards. But and Gengar, bro, what is going on with Gengar? We need to talk about that.
Oh yeah. Hi Crystal, just seeing Crystal jumping in. We were just talking about the 151 because I was just watching your video about how the main sets for the 151 subsets are all the same, but actually linking that into Gengar because 151 Surprise is Gengar based. There was that sell on alt for that RCS Gengar, the non-holo PSA 10 going for 5,000, but there is the same card going on ZNG this weekend, and I'm pretty sure you'll see a much lower sold than that.
Yeah.
What do you think about Gengar?
I think this all stemmed from that original $11,000 sale for Phantom Forces. Ever since then, it seems like everything Gengar has just turned into gold, and like everyone wants it. And I'll sell a Gengar slab for a record price, 3 times what it was a month ago, and I'll check back and it's doubled since then. Like, and it's been a few days. So I don't know what's going on with Gengar. It's crazy. I like to see it though. I think Gengar is one of the coolest Kanto Pokemon and kind of deserves the credit it's getting. But this is getting a bit too far now. You know, it's overtaken Umbreon and Charizard as like the Pokemon. I think Phantom Forces is a wicked set. Phantom Gate's amazing, but $11,000 is a lot of money. Especially it lagged behind for so many years. It's amazing to see what it's doing now. I thought that sale was fake, and I thought that all the ones that followed were going to be lower, but they've continued that price. Phantom Forces is actually over $10,000. That's just crazy to adjust to that, you know.
One of my favorite cards, although the light isn't showing it well. Now it is. Can you see that?
Oh yeah, love that.
So Gengar VMAX. But I do agree it's overhyped.
Yeah. What's that going for at the moment? That card?
That one is going for 800, 900 pounds. So it's, if you guys are interested in like the relationship between Japanese and English, I think some Sword and Shield Chase alt arts, Japanese cards are converging / catching up to English. Because you look at the Giratina, it's 1.1k in English, and it's like 800-ish pounds in Japanese. The Lugia is going up in Japanese. Just something interesting to note.
But what's like that screams an opportunity in the boxes to me, because you look at the box price, like Lost Origin 550 and Lost Abyss 130. That doesn't make sense to me. If the chase card is that close in PSA 10 in those languages, why is the box so far apart?
Well, it doesn't make sense, especially in the context of fusion arts having jumped to 180.
Yeah, I wonder if that's going to stick.
120, 130 seems odd to me. Obviously, Lost Origin has got the trainer gallery. It's got the Pikachu VMAX and the Pikachu V. And the Aerodactyl. The Aerodactyl is worth quite a lot more than the Japanese version. But it is interesting. Somewhat interesting comment on TikTok. I think this is relevant to US buyers as well. TikTok are making sellers cover 25% of TikTok vouchers, so all of them have dropped out of the offers. Okay, to be honest, fair enough, because all of us have been spamming the TikTok vouchers so much. I mean, if they were covering all of that, I don't know.
I was wondering how they were making any money. I took the piss with that stuff, man. I got so many deals. All of my English boxes are pretty much are from that TikTok coupons. So yeah, I'm not surprised this happened. I mean, I got really lucky. I had those vouchers too on Friday, and it was really hard to find anything. I managed to get a half box of Paldea Evolved and a half box of Obsidian Flames. I paid 75 for Paldea and 60 for Obsidian Flames. I think that's a good deal. Paying 135 for a custom booster box of SV2 and SV3. Happy with that. So
I'll let you answer this one, Max. Try answering in.
Do you think Pokemon boxes? Yeah, you know what? I would agree. Yeah, for new sets, it seems really easy to get the half booster boxes. I'm not sure. I guess by doing half booster boxes, they can get the product to more stores. Maybe that's why they're doing this, because every store is sold out, right? So if they chop these boxes in half, they can distribute them to more places. I assume that's why they've ramped up the production of those. I'm a fan of them. I think they're Europe exclusive still. I don't know if they have them in America. So that's quite cool. I like anything exclusive. I'm a fan of them. Having two of them doesn't necessarily equal one booster box though. Like one Destined Rivals box is going to cost more than two half Destined Rivals boxes, and that's fair. But I think as time goes by, they might get closer in price because people are just there to get the packs. You know, I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah,
I like them.
Okay, we've got a question or point from Legendary Mewtwo. Cooked Market talk about what's going on with Pikachu cards. Okay, you can see my cat in the background, by the way. Not very professional, but I'll let her chill. Ponchos, Gold Stars, Japanese exclusive Pikachu cards, Chinese exclusive Pikachu cards. This one, for example, I bought it for £1,000 in 2021, and I think up until about the start of this year, or like March, April, it was probably like £4,000 or £5,000, and now it's basically doubled. And that's what's happened with a lot of ponchos. I mean, let's take a look at Gold Star auctions. I'll put them on the screen. Just going off of eBay. What do you think about all of this, Max? About Gold Stars?
Gold stars, I'm happy to see them, being as successful as they are, because I think the
Is
cost
that
to
big
get a
enough on the
gold
screen?
star, yeah, that looks good. I just think the cost to acquire a new gold star, a fresh one out of a pack, is so obscenely expensive, that these cards should be worth a lot of money, especially if they're mint. Like, how many was it? Like 72 packs you got to open to get a gold star or more? And
I
how much
think,
does 72 packs of Team Rocket returns cost? You know what I mean? It's like, of course, these cards are expensive. They should be. But ponchos, I don't feel the same way personally. I hate ponchos. Um, yeah, it's best we just don't talk about ponchos. You say your piece though, because you quite like them, or you're at least indifferent, like quite neutral about them.
yeah, I mean,
I hate them.
Some of these Gold Star PSA 1 cells, if they're real, obviously, we don't have any confirmation that these are being paid, but if these are real, I mean, still not showing any signs of slowing down. I mean, a 7 was, I think an 8 was like 1,200, like 1.5 months ago. This Raikou, I hope the people that are buying it know about the lore behind it. But it does seem like
Seems like that law's been forgotten.
these prices are untenable to me. Like
Yeah.
they surely can't hold on for much longer, because how much money do people actually have to be spending on this? I don't know. But I
For
mean,
me, the
this was
mind
like
blowing thing
£300 last year.
it's the low grade gold stars that are blowing my mind, like the prices of those. Like, I get higher grade gold stars being expensive because, mate, go and get another one. Go and make another one. It costs so much money to get a mint gold star out of a pack. But the PSA 1, PSA 2 prices, I don't even know what to say. It's crazy.
And then we have one more category that Michu wanted us to talk about, which is Japanese exclusive Pikachu cards.
Yeah.
So wait, these are March sales. I'm trying to find more recent ones. I hope the person selling this didn't actually sell it for best offer of 1.6. So the thing that's been going on with Ponchos, Gold Stars, and now Japanese exclusive Pikachu's, they're all going up. They've started doing that at different points in time. The most recent I think I've seen had it start is these Japanese exclusive Pikachu cards. This comedian Pikachu, which I actually really rate, I think was like 200 last month and is now hitting 400-ish. This Red's Pikachu promo, I'm pretty sure it was given out at Pokemon centers. Um, this Kanazawa Pikachu, so this is the one that you got from the Kanazawa Pokemon Center when you walked in. There's two versions of it. There's one that comes in a reverse foil, sparkly foil, which comes from the Kanazawa Pikachu box, but this one was the easy to get one, and it was £100 last month. I actually traded it last month for £100. So just to illustrate the growth that's going on with these exclusive Pokemon Center Japanese Pikachu cards, is the general picture is that they're going up quite a lot. I mean, this Shibuya Pikachu, you look at that, I've got the juxtaposition. So 17th of May, £200. 21st of July, best offer off 520, but it won't have been much lower than £500.
It's crazy. I keep thinking it like, surely it slows down now. Surely we've hit the top, but especially for slabs, it doesn't feel like that. They just keep every time. So it seems like a record sale. The amount of times I've said recently, like, oh, I shouldn't have sold that so quick. I should have waited. You know, you can't time these things. I've taken some major L's this year though. Torchic Gold Star, 2 Lugia EXs, PSA 10. Yeah, but this is the game. This is why I'm trying to get out of slabs slowly, because they're too volatile for me. I don't know. I'm selling them, like, I'm waiting 5 years for them to finally go up. I sell them and then they carry on going up 5x, in a month. It's like, I'm not good at this game. I think people can make a lot of money with slabs, but I'm just going to stick to sealed going forward. I'm going to keep grading cards, but just for the purpose to sell them. And then I'm just going to keep investing in boxes. That's going to be me.
Fox McLeod, thanks very much for the super chat. First super chat of the night. I'll come to your message later, but thanks a lot for that. I'm going to keep going with the order of the chat. Sword and Shield booster boxes still have room to grow for sure. They've also got room to go down in the next year or two. It all depends on when this market shifts. I don't know. The way I treat it is, the way I see it is, this market can shift very, very quickly. I think faster than people realize. All it takes is a few people to be scared and a few paper hands who want to liquidate quickly for some sort of momentum to gain. Because I think everyone knows that we've been on this general upward trajectory since, I would say, surging sparks.
Yeah, November, year. I think, last year.
I'm getting tired of it. It's too much.
It is draining, isn't it?
Yeah.
You have to constantly.
It's fun at first, but like it's just too much.
Yeah.
I
just miss this. I mean, at the time, summer 2024, I was worried for Japanese new boxes, and I was scared. And they were so cheap. I thought, is this the end? But now I'm dreaming of those days again, being able to buy boxes for £20. Like, can you imagine? I wish I could go back.
Next question, yay or nay, jumbo black and white Japanese boxes. So for anyone who doesn't know, the Japanese black and white release had two different types of boxes. So it had the square box, which was 20 packs of 7 cards. And then you have this one, which is the jumbo box version or the deluxe pack. So it's 4 packs, I think, of 35 cards. Exact same pull rates. But just condensed into 4 big packs. And I think they're sort of taking after the jumbo packs in Chinese, different card numbers, but the style. I don't think I'd be looking at them specifically as like something to invest in, but I do think this is quite nostalgic to look at for black and white, like this shape of box. Like when you look at it, it does feel like nostalgia, but that's not something that really, to me, gives an indicator that people should be going all in on that. But you do get the same content, but just a different number of packs. So I think it's a cool thing to have because it's unique so far, almost like the enhanced Journey Together booster boxes before Mega Evolution. But Journey Together is now cemented as the only Scarlet and Violet set that has a box topper, and the only Scarlet and Violet set, or the only set between Skyridge and Journey Together, which has a box topper. So I think there's some cool lore behind it.
I'm trying to think. I think it's in the EX era, the last box topper. Sorry to be angry about it. I can't remember which set. I know Emerald had Farfetched. I think Legend Maker had the Pikachu, the metal type one. That was 2006. I think that might be around the last time. I don't think Diamond Pearl definitely didn't have any.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Thoughts on jumbo Japanese booster boxes?
I'm not like in a rush to grab them. I'm gonna need to get a couple because I just have to have one of everything, but they don't appeal to me that much. I kind of just prefer the square boxes.
I think
I like that they're trying new things. I like that they're stepping out and trying things, you know?
I know exactly why you don't like them.
4 packs.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. I don't feel like I'm getting good value for my money if I get 4 packs. But I know that they're loaded with stuff. But then I feel like they're made for people that play the game. So, it's easier to build decks with a box like that. You get, I don't know, you just get so many commons. And you get, I don't know, I can't speak on it. I've not opened them. But I really like the black and white sets. I know you're kind of 50-50 on them, or you're not. Do you want to speak about that? Let's have a convo about it.
They're not sets that I particularly want to open, and that's something I usually use to judge how much I like a set. Because usually when I decide to open a set, it's based on my chances of getting something that I want. I think the flip side with Blackboard and White Flare is that it's got, the percentage chance of you getting something you want is very low. because it's got an AR or an SAR for every Pokemon. And if I'm just looking at it from a set composition side, it has innovated in many different ways by changing the holo pattern as a throwback to black and white holo style. Um, it's introduced a new rarity in the black and white rare, and that I think is the main selling point for Blackboard and White Flare. Though I still haven't bought any of the singles, but I think that's a different story based on my goals now, which I'll get onto in response to Fox's question. So I think it's a cool set, but it doesn't make me want to open it so much because the chances of me getting the 4 cards that I want, which is the 2 Zekrom Reshiram SARs plus the 2 black and white rares, are so low that I'm not incentivized to open it, basically.
I feel like they did a better job with this black and white throwback than they did with Glory of Team Rocket. Would you agree with that?
I agree with that, but I still think people will prefer to invest in Glory of Team Rocket because you can have all the best innovation and set composition in the world, but if the species, if the Pokemon are not popular, I don't think people care too much about that. I think it was a lot of posturing. People got hyped about it, including me. But then when you look at the Unova Pokedex, probably one of the worst in the history of Pokemon. I'm sorry. I tried to get hyped, but
it took me a long time to like Unova Pokemon. It took me a very long time to like them. I actually quite like a lot of the Unova cards now, Unova Pokemon. But man, it took a while, especially when the generation first came out. I was like, this sucks. This is terrible. I don't know if you felt the same way.
Oh,
I love black and white now.
Fox McLeod, thank you very much for the super chat again. Do you both have any collecting, investing, or business goals for 25, 26? Well, I've completed my most recent goal of getting all the gold stars. So my collecting goals for singles usually or previously was to get the chase cards from every era, or at least the ones where it's easy to find. So from Diamond and Pearl onwards, I wanted the shiny Pokemon in PSA 10s as well. So the shiny Pokemon in Diamond and Pearl, Legend Pokemon in Heart Gold, Soul Silver, the black and white gold UR cards, the shiny ones, the XY alt arts, so the UR alt arts. So you've got the Alakazam from Fates Collide, the Gyarados from Breakpoint, the Volcanion from Steam Siege, the Gardevoir, and then the Shaman and the Yveltal, and then the 2 Mewtwo. So basically the best cards from every era, and I basically did the Sword and Shield alt arts, but I'm missing the big 3, Vaporeon, Flareon, and Jolteon, because those are the summer lottery promos. But collecting wise for singles, to cut it short, I think I've collected most of the key things that I really wanted to get ticked off in the last 2 years were the Sword and Shield alt arts and gold stars. So now I'm kind of more relaxed on it. But I am looking at the XY alt art gold cards. And I forgot tag team alt arts, which I will bring out. Because Sun and Moon texture is amongst the best and possibly the best. So I don't know if I have an example here. I don't think it's easy to see, but the variety of textures they have in Sun and Moon is insane. It's just like they'll use like 2 or 3 different types of textures on the same card, and I really, really rate that. Do you have any collecting goals, Max?
I hit a big milestone recently. A couple of weeks ago, I got to 1,000 booster boxes. That's over all languages, so it's a bit of English, a bit of Japanese, Korean, Indonesian. But yeah, that was huge for me. That took a long time. And I don't want to dip below that. I want to always stay above 1,000 boxes now as I continue my journey. Obviously, I'm going to run out of slabs eventually. I'm going to have to start selling some boxes, breaking boxes, but I want to always stay above 1,000. I think that'd be really cool to sail off into the sunset of 1,000 boxes. But yeah, the goals going forwards, just to keep building this. I want to finish this storage unit and have this looking really sexy, and I want to start making content again. That's a huge thing for me. I've not been able to make anything for a couple of months. because I just want this to be done. I want to be able to like walk up to a shelf and start talking about this or this and how much I got it for, what's inside of it. I think it would be really good. Just need to get all this mess sorted out. And I also want the 2003 Players Mew EX, the original Bubble Mew. I love that card. And Victory Orb. That's my final goal. I know you're not a fan of Victory Orb, but for some reason I love it. One day.
Just to finish off answering your question, Fox, business goals, I think I have a few actually, and I'm slowly going through them. But they're less financial and more like structure based. So I need to incorporate a company because I'm screwing myself over tax wise. And I think just in terms of optimizing my time, I think I'm considering outsourcing some functions of what I do externally, whether it's editing or accounting, bookkeeping, things that take time so that I can focus my time on what I consider to be the more important income generating activities. So I've got those kinds of things, but even for card shows, I've got like a full list of things I need to do. I'm thinking about changing my logo. I'm thinking about getting a banner. Well, I'm not thinking about getting a banner. I need a banner. And overall, just building more stock over the next few shows because I haven't been going to any in the last month or so, but it's going to ramp up from next month on towards the end of the year. Yeah. Question for you, Max. How are you feeling, by the way, about the stream? You still okay to keep going or for a bit?
Yeah, I'm good. Yeah.
Fio Nuala, what do you think about Japanese EX era? A lot of really low pop cards trading a lot lower at the insane modern prices. I think this question was made for you, so I'm not going to talk.
Yeah, I these cards are so hard to get like to acquire yourself. I kind of spoke about it with the gold stars, like the cost to actually get these cards, to open these packs. It's just so ridiculous. It blows my mind how cheap they are, especially when you look at them next to modern cards. But then this is the whole argument of popularity versus rarity. These modern cards are so popular. Everyone, they're shoved in your face every time you open Instagram. Everyone wants them. You feel cool when you've got it and all that. And so people are chasing these modern cards a lot more than the old ones. But we all know, us real collectors, we know deep down these old cards they're way more precious and special and rare. If you're talking about like, should you invest in them? I don't know. I don't know if now is the right time. Certain categories are good. I've noticed Japanese PCG ADV hollows PSA 9 are just stupidly cheap. Like they're cheaper than the cost of grading. I've won 2 PSA 9 hollows from PCG recently for less than the cost of grading. So there's opportunities there. I mean, they shouldn't be that cheap. Like imagine opening a Ruler of the Heavens pack, paying £300, getting your hollow, sending it off for grading. You sell your graded card and you've made a loss on just the grading fee. Forget the £300. I think it's all that stuff's underrated. I think the EX and Level X cards, Japanese, are stupidly underrated. Gold stars are getting the attention they deserve. Let's see that happen to EX and Level X, please. I don't know if we ever will, but
I think we are in English though, aren't we? English.
Yeah,
10.
English is.
But the Japanese, I agree, is
these Japanese really. Packs cost like the same as the English packs almost. Yet the PSA 10 prices are just so far apart. I guess it's like grading the English 10s is just such a challenge. I know the print quality is bad out of the pack. For Gen 4, 5, and 6, they come to mind. Like they were just so hard to get 10s English. Almost every Level X has got a little something on the back corner. So I get it.
I don't know if it's a coincidence, but I had the exact same question 3 minutes later from Neil. I don't know if you can see that on your screen. Thanks very much for the super chat, Grumpy Young Man. If you're still here, I'll definitely use that to give away to a kid at my next show. Sam Witt. Sam Witt's getting annoyed with us. I'm joking.
See, the thing is, so that these videos, especially like early Sun and Moon, I tried doing it. I did set analysis videos. No one cares. It's sad because like you have to put quite a bit of time and effort into researching and editing and stuff like that. But it's really hard to find people that want to see that stuff. It feels like it's just us watching the stream right now that care about these. But it's a shame because these are interesting products. I want to make a video about every single set, analyze every single set, but um, certain, unless it's the brand new thing, like people aren't really that interested, sadly. And so it's, you know, when I've got all the time in the world and I'm set up in this new place, I can try and make those videos, but it's hard when you've got a channel that's got a really small amount of subs and you're making content that niche. You can't grow. No, you don't. No one sees it, so it's really hard to prioritize that. You want to be talking about investing, and you want to be talking about sword and shield. You know, if you want to grow. So, don't worry. I'm coming back. I'm coming back, Fox.
I don't think I'll do them consistently anymore because I think I'll just do them once in a while to drop in with commentary every now and then. But I feel like I think the last video I did, I don't know if it did or didn't, but I think either it was a coincidence and I predicted the market really well, or I think I maybe some people watched my video and got inspired to buy boxes, which I guess is the point of the video, but I don't want to be accused of intentionally manipulating the market or anything. And the last video I did on tag teams, I've noticed team prices have gone up since then. Now, I'm not being big-headed and saying that it's definitely me, but great set. I wonder if I have that. I wonder if I still have that. I have that with me or not. Let's see. Yeah. Is that showing?
Yeah, there it is. Pulled that 5 years ago. Yeah. That's been on a journey, that card.
Trying to get it. Yeah, there we go. That's looking good. Mew and Mewtwo tag team. This one's gone up as well. I'm going off on a tangent now, but great card. That's the one Mewtwo was talking about. Opinions on Shiny Star V. Got to be due a nice pump up soon. Hasn't moved in 4 years, and compared to English, it has the Marnie in it also. I think Shiny Star V is in a very difficult position. Shiny Star V is the set that started making Japanese more mainstream, I think, because people really wanted the Shiny. It was Hidden Fates 2.0. But I think
people had to wait an extra month to get it in English as well, so they were keen on picking up Japanese. Getting Hidden Fates sequel a month early was great, you know.
I think Shiny Star V started a pattern of high-class boxes being printed into the ground, and also collectors' tastes change. So just like how rainbow cards were no longer hot and alt arts came in, alt art had the same effect on shiny Pokemon. And the repetitiveness of doing shiny Pokemon, I think, has made the shine, no pun intended, wear off on them. So you look at Shiny Star V, the set composition is a few SSR shiny full arts, but really the two main ones are the shiny Charizard cards, and then you have the Marnie from SSV. But the problem with the Marnie from SSV is that the market has corrected on its valuation of trainer cards. So if trainer cards ever come back in popularity again, maybe Shiny Star V can go up as a result.
I just can't see it.
It's weaker than VMAX Climax, and
until the sentiment improves, I don't see it moving. Currently, people just don't like Shining Fates, and Shiny Star V just done a whole lot of nothing for the last 5 years. So I think people are like scared to invest in it, or you know, I don't. At this point, I've kind of lost hope with it a bit. Yeah.
Okay,
and especially if you look at the high class sets from Sword and Shield, it's the worst. So
yeah,
it's hard to
for sure. Next one, Shiny Treasure EX. So the thing to keep in mind with these smaller boxes is that they're usually from end of year sets or holiday sets. So they're called high class sets in Japanese. Those tend to get longer and stronger print runs than your normal booster boxes. because the purpose of these sets is not only to create new chase cards, but it's also to recycle a lot of playable cards that are in rotation in the main sets. That's why the main set is usually like 200 cards, basically. So I think I actually bought in at a high price for Shiny Treasure EX, and it's now getting back to it. I bought in at like 50, 60, 70 pounds, and it's only just hitting 55, 60 pounds. But I think I saw the potential in it, but the market disagreed with me. So then it just crashed, and then it just kept getting printed. But it does have 3 very nice cards in it, and they're not easy to pull. So Terrestrial Festival, you're guaranteed an SAR in every box. Shiny Treasure EX, you are not, because there are only 7 to 8 SARs. So you've got the Clive, the Nemona, then you've got the Bubble Mew, Charizard, Shiny Charizard, and Gardevoir. And then there's like 2 more that I can't remember. Arven and something else. So it's not easy to pull the SAR cards. And I also love the Bubble Mew, actually. I think Bubble Mew is definitely one of the most iconic Scarlet and Violet cards. If I just compare Bubble Mew to the top Sword and Shield cards, I think Bubble Mew has more space to run. The only thing is the pop on Bubble Mew is so high. It's like in Japanese, the PSA 10 pop on Bubble Mew is like 20k. I've not seen anything that high for Japanese cards before. I think the Moonbryon is like from EV Heroes, which came out 4 years ago, so it's had more time to be created, is like 12 to 16k. And that's the Moonbryon. And the Bubble Mew is just coming out with 19k. So actually, I think that also partly answers the question on print runs between SV and Sword and Shield. But I do
Shiny
think
Treasure, I think it's one of those sets that got hit with extreme reprints. I think I remember it going down to like 4,000 yen on Amazon Japan at its lowest. Like that, for that to happen, that set needs to be printed heavy.
I'm gonna try finding it.
Yeah, it did. It's actually recovered a lot quicker than I thought it would. Shiny Treasure EX. Thought it was going to take a bit longer to climb up after that massive drop. But I am looking at it. Like when I see Paldean Fates, I mean, I think the pack price is like £10 a pack. It makes Shiny Treasure EX seem really cheap.
Yeah, I do think there is potential in the Bubble Mew, to be honest. It's one of my favorite cards. And I just look at the big Sword and Shield Japanese chases are anywhere between £500 to 2k. And the Bubble Mew is like, let me see if I can find it. It's like 250 to 300 pounds now. So yes, it's extremely high pop, but it is an iconic card with an iconic art style. Just can't go wrong with this, in my opinion. What do you think, if any, are like sleeper cards that you really like from Modern that should be worth more, Max?
Iron Crown. Instantly. Iron Crown EX. Beautiful card. If they stuck a more popular Pokemon on that card, be one of the most expensive cards from Scarlet Violet. Imagine if it was like a Espeon instead of a Cavalion or Iron, whatever it's called, Iron Crown. Like,
I think the only thing with Iron Crown, I agree it's really underrated, but I'm just wondering if it is reflecting the same pattern as to how English treats DLC Pokemon. Because Iron Crown, these Paradox Pokemon are DLC Pokemon. And you look at how Urshifu Altarts and Calyrex Altarts are treated in English. The Shadow Rider Calyrex is like £90 in a PSA 10.
Yeah, the alternate art.
But obviously, even in Japanese, Iron Crown is not really valued. But I do agree the artwork is very, very nice.
And I love the Hydreigon from Supercharged Breaker.
Is there an echo on your audio, Max? Millie's saying.
I can't hear it now. I could hear something before.
If anyone else can hear an echo, let us know. I think we'll wrap up soon, very shortly, but not yet, because I have to do some pack opening.
Iron Leaves. Yeah, Iron Leaves is a really good one too.
Is it coming from my side? Okay, maybe if I mute. Okay. It was coming from my speaker. Is it because we were talking across each other? So then my mic captured it? Let us know in the chat if it still continues while we're talking.
Test. I think we're good. I can't hear it anymore. What about you? Is there any, just based on the artwork and not based on the Pokemon or the price or whatever, do you think there's anything that's really underrated from Scarlet Violet?
I don't think it's underrated, but I do think the Bubble Mew is something I'm
just
looking
has room to grow.
If I'm just comparing it, so like the hierarchy of Pokemon is always based on, well, if this product is worth that, then this one should be worth this. It's always like there's a hierarchy, right? That's why Evolving Skies going up is going to pull up some of the Sword and Shield booster boxes. So when I compare Bubble Mew to the top, when I compare Bubble Mew to like the top Sword and Shield cards, I just can't see it not doing well. The only thing that goes against it is the population. But as we've seen, it doesn't matter all the time if the market is really hot, is what I would say. If the market drops, I think you'll see some of these cards drop a lot. But if I'm moving out of Sword and Shield, this is my pick. This is my pick for
yeah, you love the Dragonite.
Sleepy Dragonite, Blue Sky Stream. Ticks all the boxes. It's low pop for a modern card. I mean, it's like 4,300 still. But like they're not easy cards to find on the market for like a decent price, is what I would say. So I'm kind of teetering between selling these and keeping them. Undecided. But I just think a lot of the sleepy Pokemon are actually doing really well. Like
what's the T-Tar going for from Single Strike?
I think it's going for a similar price to the Dragonite. But yeah.
I imagine is that the most expensive card from Single Strike, or is it the alternate art Urshifu?
The T-Tar has to be the most expensive because in Japan, maybe. In Japan, yeah. I think it'll be quite close, but I think the T-Tar wins. Yeah. Thoughts on Mega Dragonite? I thought it was okay.
I thought it was okay as well. I think people were being quite harsh on it, to be honest.
I'm gonna put it up on screen. I'm gonna put it up on screen, so spoiler alert for anyone who hasn't seen it. Mega Dragonite.
With that design, I would have liked it to have been Dragon and Fairy type. But yeah, no, they could have done a million times better. Like you know they could. Fan art is way better than that. But it's not offending me as much as other people.
I think it does still have the back wings actually, because I was gonna say like the wings got clipped and moved to the head. Speaking about the game though, what does everyone think about Legends Arceus? I'm gonna open 3 V-Star Universe packs while we talk about this. This is like my own present to myself for like hitting 5K. So these are like unweighed from Pokemon Center. When they were selling loose packs last year, I bought a few. So I'm gonna open these while we talk about it. But what does everyone think about Legends ZA and how it's gonna do?
Good luck, dude. I remember buying those as well at the same time. I think they had 151 loose as well.
Yeah.
At that time, yeah.
What do you think about ZA though?
Think about what? Sorry, think about ZA.
Have you seen the trailer?
No, I haven't even looked at it yet. I'm so scared of Pokemon games like just coming out and being terrible. They've scared me. The last Brilliant Diamond and then Violet in a row. It's just 2 terrible games in my opinion. They're probably good games deep down, but they've just been rushed and just not properly. They haven't been released properly, you know. So I'm nervous about ZA, but you've said that Arceus is really good, so I imagine it might be good.
Arceus is really good, but I think ZA hasn't improved on the formula, and it's like based in a city, so I don't know the pack trick anymore because I just haven't opened these in a long time. But I've got a holo there.
Let's see.
Can you see? Oh, wait, hold on.
Ooh,
I know what's going on.
nice.
I need to stop sharing my screen, right? It's easier like that, right?
There you go. Yeah, much better.
Movie and a secret rare energy. That was the first pack. But yeah, I think ZA is not going to be very good, to be honest. The problem is that
Wait,
I think the
based on like
TCG,
you think the story's not gonna be good, or like the actual game itself?
the graphics look horrible.
Mm.
Graphics
They've
look
had
horrible.
time. They've had time to work on this game. I don't understand. I remember watching a video. I think the studio, the Game Freak, they won't hire more people. They've got quite a small team. They don't want to. They don't want to bring people in from outside, and so they're having to. Yeah, they're understaffed, and they're trying to build a game with a strict deadline. It's not. It's not good.
Yeah, I think the problem, Fox, is that Pokemon is such a behemoth that it's like tied to TCG releases and everything. So like they can't spend 7 years developing the game, like Breath of the Wild, but it's kind of like a victim of its own success. But yeah, the Zelda games are insane. I don't know if anyone's got a Switch too, by the way. I've been playing Donkey Kong Bonanza, and it's like it is really good.
It's better than Odyssey.
No, but it's also got like frame rate drops and rendering issues that people don't talk about. Yeah, I mean, I'm still excited for ZA. Which mega set? Let me ask you now, as we're sort of closing off the stream, which of the upcoming mega sets are you most excited for, based on the set names so far?
I think the most popular answer is going to be Storm Emerald, but Abyss Eye could be really interesting.
Got a Palkia V, but nothing else.
Abyss Eye. What do you think Abyss Eye is going to be about? Because I've heard so many theories. Like people were thinking, oh, it's Mega Gengar, but I don't think we're going to get a Mega Gengar set because we're getting the Mega Gengar deck. I'm thinking Abyss Eye could be maybe something to do with the plot of the game. Could be Zygarde. Abyss is normally associated with Giratina. I don't see a Giratina set coming out at the end of this. I don't know. Ninja Spinner is going to be Greninja, I guess.
Inferno X, Monkey was saying.
Yeah, the Charizard set. That's going to be good. I think that's next. That's the next set.
That is the next set.
Ooh.
Radiant Charger Bug.
Radiant.
Nothing in the next one. And a Regigigas V. So 3 packs down the drain, but that's fine.
You never know. Could have had the old Giratina in there.
I'll probably open a Heat Wave now that I have started opening. This is the danger with opening packs. Amelie knows. Once you start, you have to keep opening until you pull something good. I think we can probably bring this to a close about here. Maybe we just end it with, what are you looking to buy at the moment? Like, what have you actually been buying? So forgetting about like bargain, journey together sample packs, like what do you actually have your eye on coming up?
I'm just buying good deals at the moment, and I'm not buying anything for market price because I do think that people are going to leave in like a year's time and they're going to dump all their boxes, and that's when I'm going to buy them, buy the fear. At the moment, I'm literally just buying things that I'm seeing that are really cheap. Matchless Fighters boxes, we got a good deal on the other day. I think Matchless Fighters is an underrated set, especially for the price we got it for.
I think Sword and Shield Japanese, now I'm seeing it, is like extremely undervalued.
Yeah.
I really think it's
it's so cheap, some of the sets.
Because the thing that's making me believe in Japanese Sword and Shield now is the fact that the alt arts within it are going up. I don't think people are paying attention to the box price though. I think they're slowly creeping up, but there's still a very affordable entry point for anyone. Sam, the Matchless Fighter, we bought 5 for 25, so it was 105
It's
pounds.
105 each. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's the best part of Chill and Rain for 105 pounds. It's not bad.
Yeah.
What about you? Are you buying anything actively?
I was
Gold
looking.
stars.
I was looking. I have to have my business hat on and collector hat on. I finished the gold stars, so, and I'm pretty well stocked up for my upcoming shows, to be honest. Yeah, Grumpy. That's what I was saying. Because someone was asking me whether when I was gonna do my next video, but I don't want to be accused of anything by making too many videos like this. Especially for things that are in low supply. So it's just something I need to think about. 110
Don't tell
for
anyone
Mac.
about. Don't tell anyone about Battle Region. We need to keep getting that first.
Yeah, we fixed the issue from the last stream. It was my issue. So I was I think it was I chose my sound output as the speakers as well as the input. So like I couldn't hear the sound coming out because the sound's not going to come out from this, right? So yeah. But I think we'll pretty much end it there. Went for longer than we were expecting, which is great. Thanks again, Fox and Grumpy, for the super chats. Thanks everyone for tuning in. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe if you're not subscribed. Let us know if you want to see us talk about anything else in particular, maybe in the future. And yeah, see you guys next time. Thanks for joining, Max.
Yeah, no, thanks for having me. I will be back, guys. Give me a month. Cool.
All right. See you.
See you soon.
Bye.